10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. And we have liftoff.
Vehicle switching over.
Stage 1 proportional is nominal.
HVB discharge looks nominal.
Entered burnout detect mode.
There we go, T plus 50 seconds into the NROL-199 mission on its Antipodean adventure. Electron's engines will soon power down slightly to prepare the rocket to pass through max Q, or the point of maximum aerodynamic pressure against Electron during launch.
Cleared max Q.
Stage 1 propulsion is nominal.
And Electron has passed through max Q, the rocket's first major test after leaving the pad at Launch Complex 1 on the coast. You see below there on your screen. Electron's 9 Rutherford engines are firing hot as they burn through the first stage's tanks of liquid oxygen and RP1 propellant. T plus 1 minute and 42 seconds, and Electron's trajectory is also looking good. The rocket is at now over 30 kilometers above Earth and moving quickly at nearly 4,000 kilometers an hour.
Seconds to Miko.
Miko confirmed.
There you heard it and saw it on your screen, all three events happening back to back through Miko, stage separation and second stage engine start. Currently on your screen is Electron's second stage, continuing nominally for the NROL-199 mission. Soon it will shed its payload protective fairing to lose the unnecessary weight now that the vehicle is in space. In fact, there it goes, we can see it falling away on our screen there, so the payload fairing has split in half and fallen away. The NROL-199 payload is now exposed to space in preparation for payload deployment, and Electron's second stage is continuing to orbit, carrying the kick stage and the payload. Everything continues to look nominal, with the Rutherford engine glowing bright as it powers the mission on. The burn of this engine lasts for about 7 minutes to help bring the payload closer to its final orbit before we have a second stage separation that enables our third stage, known as the kick stage, to carry on with the rest of the mission. Our kick stage is critical in delivering the NRO the exact orbital insertion they need for this national security payload. With its own reliable Curie engine, our kick stage can be maneuvered precisely to achieve pinpoint orbital drop-off of the NRO's payload. That payload deployment is expected to take place around an hour from now.
Stage 2 propulsion still nominal.
Look at that beautiful view from space. Everything is looking great so far on this Antipodean adventure. Coming up to T plus 5 minutes and 9 seconds, and Electron's Stage 2 engine continues to fire nominally along our expected trajectory, ready to deliver the NRO payload to space. We are about 1 minute away now from our next mission milestone, the swap of our rocket's batteries, providing electric power to the Stage 2 Rutherford engine you can see on your screen. So the Rutherford's electric fuel pumps use electricity rather than a pre-burner to operate. But once the batteries are drained, we don't need them anymore. They become unnecessary weight on the second stage, so they're discarded when we swap to a fresh new one that keeps the engine running. This is our battery hot swap event, which you can see about 3/4 of the way up the timeline on the left of your screen, and coming up shortly on the main screen, you should see that shiny silver object pop free.
Throttling down.
Approaching hot swap.
There you go, right on time. We have had battery hot swap on the second stage, confirmed across the nets and visually if you saw them falling away from the rocket on your screen there. We have had a clean run through mission milestones so far. It was only 7 or so minutes ago that Electron cleared the pad at LC1, having since completed successful passes through max Q, main engine cutoff, and stage separation to reach this point now in the mission. Next up will be the second stage engine shutdown and the final stage separation that will follow the same process as the earlier MECO and separation of these stages, the first and second stages. So right now though, with stage 2's engine still firing, the mission remains on its trajectory to orbit as expected, and all is going well for NROL-199.
FTS is saved.
We are well past the Kármán line now, travelling to this mission's destination in low Earth orbit. When we reach the end of this second stage burn and separate the kick stage, we'll drift along in an elliptical path around Earth before the kick stage's engine lights up and propels the mission into a circular orbit. That happens just moments before payload deployment and the end of the mission for Rocket Lab. From the ground to space and on-orbit operations within only an hour is pretty cool. Okay, so in the next minute or so, we should reach the final acts of the second stage for this mission, the shutdown of its Rutherford engine, called SECO, before the kick stage separates and carries on with the payload. We'll see the engine's nozzle fade from bright red as it cools down, and from there we'll be ending the broadcast as the mission continues to its classified orbit.
SECO confirmed.
Stage 3 separation.
Perfect transfer orbit.